Your package?
My goddamn package. There's this YouTuber that I watch who is doing a deal for this skincare. What's the fuck? I haven't gotten their shit in yet. I can't remember their name. Basically, they send you a pack. It's
You
kind
want
of like
some
one of the
Sasquatch shit or something? Or?
No, it's one you probably never would have heard of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it seems like it's good, but I haven't gotten it yet. I took a quiz, know exactly what I need, and then they said, "Oh, we'll send it to you. Thanks." And then I got it yet.
Look at you trying new things.
Yeah,
I like that. What'd you think of the movie? Everything, Everywhere,
Thought
All
it was
at
really
Once?
good.
It was really good.
Yeah, I like this. It's definitely one of those ones I want to sit on before anything else. Because
Really?
Yeah, I mean that's just my standard for watching movies. Is
Yeah.
My true opinion comes out after a little bit.
You need a week.
Yeah,
Need a
yeah.
week.
So
Gotta
but
reflect.
initial impressions. It was a fun movie. It was a heartfelt movie. I see why you liked it so much.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Adore that movie. And you know what else I adore, Connor?
Is it video games?
It's video games, baby. What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hello to the people, Connor.
Howdy.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, this show consists of us coming to you every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or mainstream podcast services of your choice, where both me and Connor here come to you with the new news in the video game industry. We each come to you with two topics, 2 pennies, if you will, and we give you our 2 cents on them. This week is a slow week, but we'll get to that. Because if just talking about video games isn't enough for you, you want to see some gamers have some gaming moments, go over to twitch.tv/2pennygames, in which, you know, we do the casual streams every other couple of days or so. I actually haven't done it in a little bit. I should really get back on my grind. But we also, every Tuesday, twitch.tv/2pennygames, 2 p.m. Central Time right now, we do put on a little show called Hype. It's me and my good buddy Phil. Hype, Hyep, Have You Ever Played? In which one of us shows the other a video game they've never played before. This week, we should be polishing off some Crash Bandicoot 2 Into the Nexus, I believe is the subtitle for that. We missed last week because I wasn't feeling so good, and Phil had some scheduling things, so he did some solo streaming for us. I think, yeah, he streamed some Valorant or something. So, very nice, very good stuff. But let's get right into the news. Our first topic of the day, or my first penny. Connor, looks like Death Stranding 2 is happening.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Now, this is coming from IGN by Jordan Serrani. Death Stranding 2, Norman Reedus seemingly confirms a sequel. Hideo Kojima is working on a sequel to Death Stranding, according to lead actor Norman Reedus. Quote, "We just started working on the second one," Reedus told Leo Edit when asked about Death Stranding. He added, quote, "It took me maybe 2 or 3 years to finish all the mocap sessions and everything. It takes a lot of work. And then the game came out, and it just won all of these awards. And it was a huge thing, so we started part 2 of that." Reedus, who starred in the original as Sam Bridges, has seemingly leaked what would have been a surprising sequel announcement. Despite selling a considerable 5 million copies as of March 2021, Kojima Productions has been quiet about its future projects. Back in 2019, Kojima said that if he made a sequel, he'd start from zero, seemingly indicating that it would have major differences to the original. In 2020, he seemingly teased that he was thinking about a sequel, but told IGN that it didn't represent major plans, but just fragments of new ideas. Okay. Not the most, surprising thing in the world, but at the same time, I think also just a touch shocking. A touch shocking. Because Death Stranding definitely felt like a one and done to me. I never beat the game, so maybe I should actually finish that story before I commit to that idea of it being a one and done. But, it
doesn't seem like anyone said anything different. Everyone
everyone was just kind of like, okay, this is kind of what he was doing, and then, we'll get something else later. It was kind of the feeling everybody had. But at the same time, it was his first venture out into the world, into solo production as his own Kojima Productions. Was tied with PlayStation. PlayStation owns the IP, so it's still going to be a PlayStation title. So I guess all that Xbox talk just kind of didn't happen, didn't come through, didn't finish up. I don't know. We'll see. In terms of my interest in a sequel, I liked the first Death Stranding. I never finished it, but I did put 20, 30 hours into that game. And I've even been considering going back now that we have some free time and trying out the director's cut of that game. But Death Stranding was such an interesting and unique experience, and I think it's important that he's like, yeah, I would want to start from zero, because I don't think you can replicate that experience and package it and sell it. Like, that's just, if it's just more Death Stranding, I don't think anybody would be interested in that.
Coming from someone who's never played Death Stranding, it does also seem like it'd be kind of hard to change things up. What would they do? Does any ideas come to mind that they can like revitalize the gameplay that even some people were already saying was kind of boring and turned people off from it?
Well, it was very, yeah, I guess some people did find it pretty boring.
Not everyone, obviously.
It was just very, the thing is it's not action-based gameplay, which is kind of like the opposite from what Kojima's been known for in the last couple of decades. Technically, like, ever, if you really think about it, but like, I don't know, man. There was something really tranquil and relaxing and entrancing about Death Stranding from a gameplay mechanical perspective. The story I thought was nonsense and I didn't really care about. But even though there were phenomenal performances in that game, I think specifically of Troy Baker fucking killed it. But I don't know, man. I sit here and I go, who wants to hike in the rain again? Like, what can you add to that to make it interesting? Like, more tools, more things, but like you already did that with the director's cut. You gave us new tools and stuff. So it would have to be like something brand new, and I do. And there's like an end game to that game. I know, like when the game ends, you can still run around and finish quests and do things. So like the world didn't change, I assume. I don't know the ending of the game, but I'm assuming the world itself didn't change. It was a very personal story of Norman Reedus going through with his little baby and, you know, his sister issues or mom issues, whatever was going on in that plot. So like, I don't know. I don't even know where you take that character of Sam Bridges, because like to me he was so like Avatar for the play. Like he felt like almost like Link. Like where it's just like, yeah, it's just the hero character that you're out doing things and he's got like this like gimmick about him, but like other than that, like it didn't feel like you were telling me the story of Sam Bridges. Like he had done with you know, the Solid Snake and the Big Boss and all of that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not like adverse to the idea, but like you'd really have to do something new to me to make it work. And I just don't know what you can do.
Possibly maybe a genre switch? You know, not be the type of game that it already was.
But how would you, in what way? Like we just go RTS or something? He's too mainstream for that type of stuff. Like
maybe leaning more into the action part of the game. It becomes a lot more higher stakes in that regard.
Well, the problem is that the world punished you for taking action against people. You would get game overs if you killed people.
Yeah.
And well, like you could kill people, but like if you didn't like take care of the bodies, like you would get a game over eventually. So like that, to my knowledge, didn't change. So like, what are we doing here? And, you know, I loved, like, fighting BTs was dope. There were great set-piece moments throughout that game. I just don't know. Like, all I can think of is that we improve game feel and we improve level design. Because some areas in that open world did not feel good to traverse through. But that was kind of the whole point of the game, is you would, over time, make them better to traverse through. Like you'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta go through this rocky bit, okay, and then you would trip and fall and lose your thing. But then eventually you'd be like, oh, let me set up some zip lines so I can just zip right through them and not have to worry about it. And you know, like that was the progression, is your effect on the world and other players affecting the world as well. You know, you would come across like ladders that players had left around, or like you as a community would work together to build out a highway system so that we could all drive through it, you know, as one. You know, like there was a lot of really cool, really interesting ideas in Death Stranding, and I just don't know how you expand on it in a sequel that doesn't feel like you're repeating yourself. And if there's one thing Kojima doesn't do is repeat himself from game to game. In terms of like mechanics.
I guess he has some idea, obviously enough to be confident to do a second game.
I don't know.
Because as a new studio, they really can go anywhere. It's not like they have any dedicated IPs that people are really jumping at the bit for. So I do think it's a little bit of a weird thing to stay confined to this one game. At least if that's the second game we're going to be getting from them.
You ever going to try Death Stranding?
No, it's not for me.
You think?
Yeah. I don't think I'm looking to spend hours and hours and hours walking. Traversal.
Maybe. I think you should give it a spin. Give it a spin someday.
Do you think it's all free on PlayStation Plus?
Oh, well, it just might be, Connor, but we sure. I didn't give you the rundown of the show, but we'll jump right to that. PlayStation Plus just dropped a whole new batch of stuff. That was a really good transition that I should have thought of fucking 15 minutes ago. Anyways, this is my second penny of the day, and then we'll have to double back to your first one, which talks about this. So anyways, on the PlayStation blog here, they dropped all new PlayStation Plus game lineup: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Demon's Souls, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, NBA 2K22, and more join the service. So we're just kind of bounce around in here because it's a lot of words. It's a lot of words, and I don't, it's the problem with this new PlayStation Plus where there's too many tiers. You gave us the 3-tier thing, which is like nice on paper, but now like we as consumers are confused. So real quick. PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium / Deluxe plans focus on adding high quality titles into the PlayStation Plus service for players to enjoy. We're pleased to share a selection of the content that will be available for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium / Deluxe plans. What is Premium and Deluxe? What is that? Anyways, PlayStation.com will be updated with the games list when it launches in your region. So it's a lot of PlayStation Studio games. Alienation, Bloodborne, Concrete Genie. You scroll through here. Some standouts: Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, God of War, Gravity Rush, Horizon, Infamous, the PS4 Infamous games, Knack. Both the Spider-Man games that have released it to this point. Last of Us Remastered and Left Behind. Interesting that Last of Us Part 2 is not included in this list to me. That tells me, there were rumors going around that the Last of Us remake is coming this year. So that tells me probably coinciding with like a Last of Us Part 2 director's cut of some kind. I don't know. We'll see. All the Uncharted games from the Nathan Drake collection to Uncharted 4 to The Lost Legacy. Strange that Uncharted 4 is available, but like Lost Legacy is as well. Why not just Lost Legacy and say whatever? Probably just because they could. Third-party partners. Oh, that's why, because the multiplayer is tied into Uncharted 4. That's right. Third-party partners, you get things like a bunch of Ubisoft titles, which we'll talk about in a second. So like Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Batman Arkham Knight, Celeste, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil, just the remake, I assume. The PS4 version of the remake is all that seems to be listed here.
I played that version, so it must be it.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy, Hollow Knight. There's some solid games here. This is for the PlayStation Plus Extra stuff. So these are the free like PS4 and PS5 titles that you get for subscribing. I only see. Interesting. I don't see too many PS5 versions of games on here.
Yeah.
Specifically, I only see Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Miles Morales, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Control Ultimate Edition, which is a great game. You should play Control, Connor. Yeah. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy,
Death Stranding,
and The Artful Escape. Did Death Stranding? Oh, did Death Stranding Director's Cut? Okay, yeah. So interesting that like Spider-Man Remastered isn't on this list, or Lost Legacy has a PS5 version. Why is Lost? Oh, it's not the Legacy of Thieves collection. It's just Lost Legacy. Okay, my apologies. I got lost in the titles there.
There's so many of them.
So it's interesting that The Legacy of Thieves collection isn't involved in that. That's strange. Classic Games Catalog. PlayStation Plus Premium/Deluxe members. Why is there 2 different names? We'll have a selection of popular... Is there a reason for that? Did I miss something here? What is the... Google for me PlayStation Plus Deluxe.
I'll just look up all the 3 plans they've got.
Because premium... No, because it's PlayStation Plus Essential, Extra, and Premium was what they called it.
So I'm looking at Premium.
No, look up Deluxe. What is Deluxe? Why? What is the Premium/Deluxe thing? Anyways, classic games to play with some titles that will show improved frame rate, higher quality resolution compared to their original launch versions. For select original PlayStation and PSP classic games, members will also enjoy a new user interface with menus that allow you to save your game at any time or even rewind the game if you want to do a do-over. Very similar to sort of how the PlayStation Classic console kind of works, I would assume. Also, players who have previously purchased a digital version of select games from the original PlayStation and PSP generation will not have to make a separate purchase or sign up to PlayStation Plus to play these titles on PS4 or PS5. That's really cool. That should mean that I should be able to install the original Metal Gear Solid onto, if I understand that correctly, if it's available. I should be able to do that. I don't see it available in the collection here, so maybe not.
Well, buy it and then find out.
Anyways, so this includes things like Ape Escape, Siphon Filter, Hot Shots Golf, Super Stardust Portable. I did see that Siphon Filter is getting trophies, so some of these trophies are getting or some of these games are getting trophies with their launches as well. Third-party partners, we got Mr. Driller, never heard of it, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, Worms Armageddon, PlayStation Studios for the classic game remasters. So those were original PlayStation and PSP games that I just went through. Classic game remasters were getting like Ape Escape 2, Dark Cloud 1 and 2, Jack 2 and 3, and Combat Racing, and the original precursor Legacy. Interesting that they're broken out into individual titles here. Oh no, that makes sense for the PS4 remasters. I take that back. Don't waste your time with Jack. Wild Arms 3.
Those might be watching this.
After the hype review for all 3 Jack and Daxter games are live right now, youtube.com/stupidgamescast, if you want to know why I feel that way. Third-party partners, BioShock Remastered, Borderlands, The Handsome Collection, Bulletstorm, the Full Clip Edition, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, and Lego Harry Potter Collection. I assume these will expand. Is an early look at the selection of games that will be available. So, yeah, they're going to expand on this list. Overall, I think that's exactly what I was expecting. Original PS3 games via streaming. We have things like the original Demon's Souls, Hot Shot Golf, Infamous 1 and 2, Motorstorm, the Ratchet & Clank PS3 trilogy, Resistance 3, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Fear, and Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Interesting. This is an early list of like all these things were available on PlayStation now, so they all make sense. And then the time limited game trials. As of right now, they're only doing Legacy of Thief Collection, Horizon Forbidden West, Cyberpunk 2077, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, WWE 2K22, and Farming Simulator 22. Should be a 2-hour little game trial. That is not enough to get into Horizon Forbidden West. No. So I don't know how that's going to work. Again, if it's the first 2 hours, you're fucked. The first 2 hours of Uncharted 4 aren't that great either. So I don't know where we're going with that. Sounds
good in concept, but specific games it just doesn't work for.
Right. And then playtime counter only counts while you are in the game. It's a great way to play before to try games before you decide to buy. After downloading a trial of the full game, you can play for 2 hours for most games. Again, I have the question of what part of the game are we playing? Like, and how are you? Because if you just throw me into the middle of Forbidden West, there's too many mechanics. There's too many systems. The game is too hard for me to understand and use them all appropriately. Sure, you could take the Madagascar level of Uncharted 4 and understand why that's cool, or just the set piece segment or something and understand why that's cool. But like, where in Forbidden West are you dropping me? In the beginning, that's the worst part of the game to drop me in. In the middle, I'm going to be confused. I'm not going to want to buy your game. You understand how this works?
Yeah.
Like, this is why this is confusing. New games across the number of games will be refreshed. The number of games refreshed will vary per month. So basically, I don't know, man. Whenever we can get them to work, we're going to put them out, you know. Anyway, so they launch in North America June 13th. Connor.
Coming up.
Any of these selections doing it for you, buddy? Are you willing to up your subscription for...
Here's the issue. It's just too much of a jump for what I want to justify some of these games.
It does. It almost doubles the price.
I just can't get into it. No matter what they sell me, it's just like, oh, I'm not going to play all these games. So even though it's nice, the thought, it's not going to be super effective because I'm also dealing with playing new games.
Yep.
So I'm constantly going to be buying new games and then being, influenced to play old games because I have this subscription service that I spend a lot of money on. It just seems like too much of a hassle every single time I hear about it.
I agree. However, to play devil's advocate for the new PlayStation 4 or 5 owner,
Yes. Yeah.
it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Drop $120. As soon as you get PlayStation Plus. You get to play your Fortnites. You get to play your Destiny 2. You get to play your Apex Legends
For a year.
Your Call of Duty Warzone. That's just to play those because those games are free to play.
Yeah.
But that's just to play them online. So there you go. And then you have a selection of, quite frankly, really, really good games.
Yeah.
In here. Like there's almost nothing bad on this list. I'm looking through Destruction All-Stars, like kind of meh, but okay, whatever. Like
Don't play it.
Yeah, just don't play it because you've got things like Bloodborne, you've got things like Spider-Man, you've got things like The Last of Us Remastered, you've got things like God of War, Mortal Kombat 11, The Division. You've got a lot here in Far Cry 3 and 4. And these games you can really sink your teeth into and really, 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 really enjoy. Borderlands, there's a lot here. There's a lot here.
An annoying thing that I always go through whenever I bought consoles was when I was like, okay, well, now I'm going to have to shell out an extra $120 for 2 games.
For 2 games.
And now you get whatever you want.
Here's
basically
$120, 80 games like that are worth your time and worth playing. Like, that's pretty cool. It's just it doesn't have your instant sell with gamers like Game Pass does. And I don't want to compare it directly to Game Pass because I don't think that's fair. I think it's actually closer to the Nintendo Online Expansion Pass. I think this offers a lot more content and a lot more value than that does. But yeah, for someone who's already in the ecosystem of PlayStation, this does very little for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just not enough to up my subscription. Like if it was like, oh, and all new PlayStation first party studio games, fucking hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Be nice.
Or if their classic games catalog was more expansive and included things like the original Ratchet and Clanks or Metal Gear Solid or Sly Cooper, or fucking so many Crash Bandicoot, so many which I understand they can't really do now because Microsoft owns that title now. But like so many like classic PlayStation titles like that are just kind of lost to the ethos. Like where are they? Like and this is my issue with PlayStation in general. Your legacy is so deep and you have so much to offer and it's all trapped on old hardware because you didn't put in the time to go back and make sure that gamers could play the games. So yeah, this is a good step. Everybody should go play Returnal. Go play it. Connor, jumping over to the Ubisoft side of that PlayStation Plus collection and your first topic, Penny of the day. Let's talk about this Ubisoft Plus coming to PlayStation. Ubisoft Plus is a subscription service that it works the same way as every other subscription service these days. Is finally coming to PlayStation. This is from Ubisoft's website here. Brittany Sperlin dropped it for us. Ubisoft Plus will come to PlayStation in the future, bringing access to more than 100 titles, additional content packs, and rewards to the platform. The subscription service is currently available on PC, Stadia, and Amazon Luna, offering players day one releases, classic games, and premium editions, and ultimately will be available on PlayStation and Xbox. Ubisoft also revealed that beginning May 24th, it will launch a new Ubisoft Plus subscription for PlayStation Plus called Ubisoft Plus Classics. Ubisoft Plus Classics on PlayStation is a curated selection of popular games, including top-selling Assassin's Creed Valhalla, The Division, and For Honor, as well as beloved classic games like Child of Light, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Watch Dogs, Werewolves Within, and more. The Ubisoft Plus Classics catalog for PlayStation Plus will launch with 27 titles and grow to 50 by the end of 2022. Check out the full list of Day 1 games below. And like we said before, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, For Honor, The Crew 2, Child of Light, Eagle Flight, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, Far Cry 3 Remastered, Far Cry 4, Legendary Fishing, Risk Urban Assault, which is not a great game, but okay. South Park The Fractured But Whole, South Park The Stick of Truth. Both of those are great games. You should definitely play Stick of Truth before you play Fractured But Whole, though, because you can't go backwards. I tried. Space Junkies, Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is a VR game. Starlink Battle for Atlas, Steep. Remember Steep?
I do
Connor?
not remember Steep.
Steep was that snowboarding game that they tried to make a thing, and then what was that? Riders Republic was trying to capitalize on that. It's just not working. The Crew, The Division, Trackmania Turbo, Transference, Trials Fusion. Oh, Trials Fusion. Trials of the Blood Dragon game. That game sucks. Trials Rising, Valiant Hearts, The Great War, Watch Dogs, Werewolves Within, Zombie. Funny that Zombie just still kicking around.
I'm happy for it, though.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
People are playing it somewhere. Anyways. Ubisoft Plus Classics we're providing. Yeah, this is another just a quote of how people can play their games. Anyways, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah.
This is fine.
It doesn't raise my eyebrow.
It's about what you would expect, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just Ubisoft. It's not
Yeah.
like they themselves have a big amount of, catalog of games that people really are just digging in their teeth to play. And a lot of those are pretty accessible, even now, on their own.
Yep.
I know Far Cry 3, you can play on, I don't know if you can play Blood Dragon along with it, but I know you have access
I believe
to that
they're
on
two
the
separate
PlayStation.
titles.
Okay, well, if that wasn't available before, that's nice. You know, they definitely have some games that aren't available anywhere else, except on their old consoles that they were originally released on. So, yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah,
in terms of Ubisoft selections, like the first 27 titles, this is a fine list, and we've got another. What is that? 22 left, 23 left. Excuse me, math is hard. 23 coming by the end of the year. That's cool. I'm into that. I'm into all of that, and it's live this week. Cool, neat, good to have it. Not enough for my money, but also I've played most of those games, so
Yeah.
But again, for someone who is just casual, can only spend a couple of bucks a year or whatever, yeah, absolutely go. There's a lot of value here. The subscription service isn't working right now in this moment for gamers like you and I who stay up on the latest and greatest. But eventually, as it grows in relevance, it will become valuable for guys like us. But for normal people who only buy 2 or 3 games a year, do this instead. Keep your $60, save your 60, 120, 180 bucks, up that $10 each for the $70 versions of games, and play and subscribe. I think you should subscribe to Game Pass first because Xbox is killing it. But if this is appealing to you, absolutely go this route.
Yeah.
Absolutely go this route.
Pretty good deal.
Pretty good deal. Connor, let's talk about a deal maybe not so good. Or it's exactly what we need. Who knows? All right. So here we go. Final topic of the day. Your second penny of the day. Let's talk about some FTC. They're coming after us, Connor.
It's the government.
They're coming after us.
Trying to steal from us. Like they always do.
So we're pulling a PC Gamer article by Andy Chalk. The FTC looks to crack down on influencers and platforms over fake and manipulated reviews. In 2019, the Federal Trade Commission issued a friendly, easy-to-understand digital booklet called Disclosures 101 for social media influencers, designed to help streamers and influencers understand when and how to disclose their promotional relationships with companies. Now it looks like the FCC is preparing to draw a harder line against stealth advertising and endorsement disclosure, as it has voted to consider updating its guidelines against fake and manipulated reviews. The FTC has been battling against deceptive online advertising for years. In 2015, for instance, it settled a case against Machinima Incorporated over its failure to disclose the fact that it was paying its influencers for promotional videos. A year later, WBIE settled similar charges relating to a Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor promotional campaign. The ongoing problems helped prompt the creation of the Disclosures 101 primer. But the endorsement guides underpinning it were last updated in 2009, a geological span of time in the digital world. Thus, the FTC has proposed changes to its guidelines that, quote, reflect the extent to which advertisers have turned increasingly to the use of social media and product reviews to market their products. The proposed changes don't just target influencers. The notice of recommended revisions also includes a warning to social media companies that their influencer tools may not be adequate to meet legal requirements, which opens them to potential liability. It also says that companies making use of consumer reviews in promotional materials, quote, should not distort or misrepresent, end quote, what people actually think of their products. Micro-targeting specific audiences will also come under greater scrutiny under the proposed new rules, and examples cited in the update notice. Quote, a social media advertisement promoting a cholesterol-lowering product features a testimonialist who says by how much they lowered their serum cholesterol. They claimed reduction greatly exceeds what is typically experienced by users of the product, and a disclosure of typical results is required. The marketer has been able to identify from online data collection Spanish-speaking individuals with high cholesterol levels who are unable to understand English and micro-targets a Spanish-language version of the ad to them, disclosing the typical results in English. The adequacy of the disclosure will be evaluated from the perspective of the targeted individuals. Quote, child-directed advertising is also highlighted as being of special concern because children may, and let's be honest, will react to advertising and influencers differently than adults, regardless of disclosures made. Quote, practices which would not ordinarily be questioned in advertisements addressed to adults might be questioned in such cases. Online reviews and influencer endorsements are ubiquitous on the internet, and they present real and new challenges, FTC Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter said during an open commission meeting on May 19th. Quote, unlike yesterday's celebrity endorsers, influencers are often seen as experts in their market, whether that's for fashion, health products, or cutting-edge consumer technology. Influencers constantly interact with their followers in their market and or social niche. These are often relationships of trust, and without clear guidelines and responsibilities, they're ripe for commercial exploitation and deception. The new guys make it clear that we intend to investigate breaches of that trust, whether it's made by brands, manipulating reviews, influencers not disclosing material relationships with companies, or by micro-targeting aimed at deceiving specific groups or consumers.
There's a lot of stuff here.
There's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, which, as you said before, can either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. Because government overreach, as many things, have either a very positive effect or a very negative effect.
But as we've seen, information on the internet is often manipulated and scrutinized and used against the public. So, I, as of right now, I have no issues with any of this. Yeah, you wanna target some micro targeting? That sounds fine to me. You want to make sure people are keeping their facts straight, making sure everybody knows that money is being exchanged for me to say this about XYZ product, and that my review has to be honest and it can't be bought and paid for. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't think of any bad reason for this right off the top of my head, but it will be treading new ground, which is when we'll see any kind of issues come up.
Yep.
As they come up, see whether they're situational or whether they're a constant problem that needs to be dealt with. So, if they're able to adapt to these new changes, great. But hopefully they're implemented pretty smoothly.
This is more just internet news, less video game direct, but it's video game adjacent. And it's important to take note of it because Machinima got hit hard back in the day. I want to say, was that 2013, 2014, something like that?
It was one of the big guys in the video game, news media world, and then they went down hard.
They went down real hard. So it's important to take note of things like this because if you're not careful and if you're not paying attention to how you're marketing yourself, you can get in some real serious trouble. Be careful on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. It'll bite you in the ass.
You already know that. The kids don't. Think of the kids.
And if anybody wants to pay me to give an honest review, I'll take your money.
We'll be transparent about it.
Yeah.
I'll
be like, hey, they paid me. Yeah. They'll pay me, but like also like this sucks. So or it's great. Who knows? Anyways, Connor, that is really it for the news this week. So let's jump into what we've been playing. Connor, what have you been playing?
Unfortunately, nothing really.
Oh my Jesus, Connor, and you call yourself a gamer.
I've had the two things that gamers hate more than anything else.
Yeah?
Work
Uh-huh.
and family.
Yeah.
Because they just get in the way of more gaming.
They do.
And that's what's happened to me this week.
Connor, my story is very similar.
Oh, really?
In fact, the first time I picked up a controller this week was 2 hours before you showed up.
I was expecting you to have all the games played this week, Tavin.
I didn't play any of the games this week. I touched a little bit of Sekiro. Just a little bit. I was looking at the platinum pathing. You have to play that game 4 times.
Yeah. But admittedly, especially compared to other Souls games, it goes by very, very, very quickly.
Oh, I'm sure. Especially once you know your pathing, and there's no like any bosses you've already beaten. There's no reason to really fight them unless you have to. Yeah. And then if you've fought in them once, you can beat them again. It's not that hard the second time around. And then it's also just it's just 4 times is a lot, and then there's a lot, and I was like, and I'm stuck on. I want to do a bunch of the optional content too, and it's hard. So I was like, you know what? Let me put this to the side real quick.
The headless guys,
huh?
The headless guys.
No, just the little tourneys you get for getting to get extra skins. I talked about it last week.
Oh yeah,
that's hard. It's really hard. So I played just a little bit of that, but I've mostly, and by mostly I mean just the few hours that I played before you got here. You can see my TV is still on with it. I booted up The Last of Us Part 2 again. 60 FPS upgrade on PlayStation 5. Looks beautiful. Plays beautiful. Yeah, it's The Last of Us Part 2 so far. That's all I've really got to say about it. I'm really not that far in. I'm doing my platinum run, polish off those collectibles, playing on hard. Started a new game, didn't do New Game Plus because I was like, I'll just play it with the intended weaponry for the game. Yeah, literally not even that far in. Like the moment that kicks off the plot hasn't happened yet. No spoilers, but you know, if you played the game, you know, and you know, for a lot of you who haven't, you still know. But yeah, you know, it's Last of Us Part 2. It's fucking great. Feels great.
Sang its praises many times.
Feels great. Plays great. Fucking dialogue's great. I'll say I was trying to listen to a podcast while I was playing. Can't do that with Last of Us. Nope. That's a very heavy game that demands full attention from you. So there's that. Connor, we're only like 37 minutes into this podcast. We need just a little bit more time. And I don't have anything else to say about The Last of Us Part 2. Shockingly. So here's something I wanted to sort of like brainstorm with you live on the air right now. I was thinking about lists, Connor. I was thinking about video game lists, top 20s, top 50s, top 100 games of all time. Connor, what if we had a list show? You know, or like a mini segment on this show, almost like a video game book club. Almost.
Ooh, I like books and I like clubs.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I don't know, maybe like once a month we dedicate ourselves and we play a game, just a random fucking game.
I'm being presented this for the first time, by the way.
This is it. I did. I'm spitballing right here,
You'll
here.
get to see my brainstorming process on whether I accept something or reject something. But admittedly, I like my lists. So.
Right, we like lists, right? So like, what if you and I we agreed on a game? We said, I don't know, like the first of the month, and we're near the end of May, so we would start in June, and then July 1st. We come together and we go, hey, man, this is a review of this game that we played for the last month. Let it be, I don't know, Sekiro. Let it be fucking Assassin's Creed. Who cares? You know, just whatever fucking game tickles our fancy. You know, we go out, we play this game, we beat this game, we come back. And then, you know, every month we just slowly just start like listing them against each other. Like where do they fall? This, that, and the third.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Different than what I thought it was going to be. Okay.
You know, and we create over the course of 7,000 years because there's so many fucking video games. We create the ultimate tiered video game list. You know what I'm saying?
It's an undertaking.
It's an undertaking. It is an undertaking. It's an excuse for us to play games.
So I take a list of things and I put them down and then I order that list.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Well, as we come back,
Yeah.
as we come back. So like month 2, let's say month 1 we play Catherine or something. I don't fucking know. And then month 2 we come back with Bloodborne, and then you and I have a little chat, little debate. Which one's number 1? Which one's number 2? Let's say, okay, we get to the end of it. Bloodborne's a better game than Catherine, just right top of my head or whatever. And then we go, okay, number 1, Bloodborne. Number 2, Catherine. Next month, the month after that, we come through Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Where does that land? Oh, that's the bottom of the 3. Okay, yeah, let's put that at number 3, and we just continue down that line. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's an idea, something to kind of ponder. Also, I was wondering, I was like, there's only 2 of us on this podcast. How do we settle tiebreakers? Just fucking flip a coin.
Yeah. Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Or play a game of chicken. Where we both get on the train tracks. Okay? The weaker person runs away quicker.
Yeah.
So they're the worst opinion.
You want to make this a life or death
Judge
game.
of character.
Yeah.
It's a judge of character. Not a life or death
who cares?
game.
Who cares more about their argument than the other person? You know. Connor, I will die on a pedestal for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater to be number 1 on that fucking list.
All right.
I'll get hit by that goddamn train. I don't give a shit.
Well, that part I would just lament and be like, okay, whatever. It's gonna be a waste of time.
You're not very good at chicken, Connor. You're not very good at chicken.
I'm already backing out. We ain't done it yet. Already losing. Damn it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. No, that's a bad idea. Yeah. I can already see the flaws cracking through.
Yeah. The flaws in your will. Because you are not a man of the will.
Well, now that I'm walking back the original idea,
Maybe we should just
is
flip
the
a coin.
weaker person really just somebody that backed out of a game of chicken early? Does that really make a weak or a strong person? I don't think so.
You brought it up. It was your idea.
But now that I think about it, who wants to judge things on that parameter? Or any single one parameter in life? Because life collectively is an amalgamation of experiences, an amalgamation of truths.
Connor,
and
you
falsehoods.
you are so bad at the game of chicken that you are backing out on the idea of chicken.
No. It can't be a game of chicken until it's officially been accepted by both parties, which you started poking holes in the logic of it, and I was like, you know what? It's still a logical idea, but I think I'll go...
It's still a logical idea.
So I think we'll just flip a coin. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, we just do what I said. Okay, cool. But then the viewers could get in on with it, with us, and they could be like, you know, oh, we let them be the tiebreaker. Our audience of 1. You know?
Yeah. Hey, that's one guy having lots of power.
That's one guy with a lot of power. We say, hey, one guy, one viewer, Fred in Kansas. Yeah, I know. I was watching the statistics. It's actually some guy in Germany, but you know, whatever. You know, we say, hey, we're playing fucking Borderlands 2 this month.
Yeah.
You know, play along with us, and then we'd have the episode. We have our conversation, our review, our debate, whatever. We break it out as a little side piece of content, whatever, for people who want to. And we go, hey, we can't decide if it's number 15 or number 16. You, Fred in Kansas, or you know, Victor in Germany, go, hey, you tell us, where does it go, 15 or 16? You know,
that's a good idea. But you have one flaw in your plan.
what's that?
People
Yeah.
are stupid.
Yeah.
I don't suggest that we are elevated positions
Yeah.
of anything, really. Because
Right.
whatever we say is, because we run a podcast,
We have the
automatically
microphones.
better
We have
than
the
anybody who
microphones.
does not have microphones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So their ideas, their thoughts, their opinions does not matter.
Of course.
And then you also run into the issue of, like, if there's 2 people, what if they just, you know,
They tie themselves.
they tie themselves?
They tie-
And what if they're also...
We need a tiebreaker for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly. And what if they just lie? Because it's the internet.
Oh. Oh, what if instead of 15 or 16, they really feel like it should be at like number 30, and they're like, you know what? No, 30.
Yeah, they
know what
don't
I'm
play into
saying?
the game that we set up for them.
Exactly.
They refuse to vote. So
Bastards, all of them.
sorry, guy from Germany. Sorry. Or nix that idea. You know what I think is a great idea?
What's that?
Flipping a coin.
Flipping a coin. Maybe we'll just flip a coin
Yeah,
and just let fate decide. You know, let the gods decide.
works for Two-Face.
It does work for Two-Face. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
He seems like a collected
I
individual.
went to a Batman themed pub last night.
What's that look like?
They just had a bunch of Batman up everywhere, and then all of their drinks were like Batman themed, but like you could kind of figure out what they were just based off the time. So they had like a poison tea shot. It's just green tea shot. It's just green tea shot.
Why is it
That's all.
green? Why is it
Huh?
green? Why is it green? Who
Because
could
it
it
uses
represent?
Jameson Irish whiskey and peach schnapps and a little bit of like some places use soda. I use sweet and sour when I make it because it's just easier and I think it tastes better.
Look at you, Mr. Bartender.
It's actually not easier. It's actually a little harder, but it tastes better.
I mean,
in
it
my
gets you
opinion.
more tips.
Sure. Yeah. Green tea shot, pretty basic shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good, honestly.
That's fine. Yeah, it's a good shot.
Well, Batman's stupid, so let's not go there.
Anyways, this is a little thought, just a little idea, Connor.
Yeah,
You know what? We'll talk about what is the calendar. Computer.
22nd right now.
It's the 22nd right now. Where does that?
Time this episode will be 23rd.
Yeah, it'll be the 23rd. So next week is the last week of May. I say we just talk about it over this next week and decide what we're gonna do, and we decide what we play.
I think that lines up pretty well,
Yeah.
time-wise.
If we even want to do this,
Yeah.
we'll just do that, and then we'll announce it next week and be like, hey, we're doing that, and then keep an eye out for the first episode of July,
Maybe
which will be July 4th.
Oh,
The 4th of July.
on a Monday? Or are we filming?
No, I mean we'll film on the 3rd, which is a Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. But the 4th will
Yeah,
go
yeah.
live. Yeah, and then that'll be the first episode of
Yeah.
it. We'll figure out a title.
That's going to be the hard part.
That is gonna be the hard part.
As if in with the theme. Are we going to keep it part of the theme?
It's hard,
Having
man. How
pennies,
do you
coins.
do that? We gotta
Yeah.
hard stuff. But
we're
until then,
gonna
Connor,
have to decide.
that is going to be it for the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 95. Thank you so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen, or watching over at youtube.com/2pennygamescast. Remember, you can catch us live every Monday. Well, not live. It's a pre-recorded show. You just dropped your water bottle. Good job. You caught it,
cap
though.
on. And a cup.
There you go. Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or mainstream podcast services of your choice. Please remember to follow, like, subscribe, share it with a friend. We really, really would appreciate that. If you don't want to just hear us talk about video games, you want to hear us, or you want to watch us play some video games, you're just dead staring at the camera. Just fucking, you playing a game of chicken with the audience now? What is that?
There's not chicken. There's no
fun.
crane coming at me. I'm good.
Oh, there may be a train coming at you, Connor, but just not the one you think.
Oh no! Is it gonna be on the alley of the Batman pub? Was that why you want to get me there, Tavin? Is that why? Fucking freak. Arkham Degenerate all the way through. That's the real reason why it's named that, not green tea shots.
Oh my god.
You
Anyways,
dirty boy.
twitch.tv/2pennygames. Watch us play video games live. And this is a good episode, Connor. I had fun. Until next time, have a great time. And Connor, say goodbye to the people.
Bye.